I believe that English literature is probably my favourite because I spent more time on it in lessons and revision. English language is just a little part of what English literature represents.
English literature because I like reading the books and doing that kind of thing. Obviously, I don't like having to revise the quotes, revise all the terminology, but I think that is mainly because I haven't actually I don't think any English language, to be honest.
I really think that literature is more interesting, but I find language is more straightforward and you have more of a guideline of how to actually do it, if that makes any sense at all. For me, I like literature better because there's more information to learn.
I actually preferred English language to English literature, even though I failed at English language. But I really did like it. I just found it better. Like, it wasn't boring. Like, you didn't have to sit there and listen to a book being read and then think about like the social historical context and stuff.
English literature is better because I like to read and I love to annotate, and when we have to talk about the text in class, I literally have so much to say.
English literature, I think it's just because I really struggle with English language, and I think with literature you can sort of plan more like before your exam, and I just really struggle to revise for language, so it really stresses me out, and I'm just not very creative, so language is really hard.
I think that GCSE English language is better.
High five. This is a high five moment.
Because it's more of a sort of skill based, because it's reading and writing and like comprehension, I guess, like in comparison to English literature where it's more like, I'd say memory based, just because of how many quotes you have to learn. Also, I get to do creative writing in language, which I love, so.
I actually think English literature is best, just because there's actually a plot line that you've known previously, you know in depth about all the characters, all the themes of the book you're reading, all the poetry that you've been studying. But with English language, it's kind of like, here's an extract thrown at you, and then like, write about the language in it, write about the structure, and yeah, I just find it really difficult to write about.
I am
Wait a minute.
English literature absolutely all the way.
Disappointed!
Because I love how authors can articulate an idea so amazingly and then manage to write it. There's some very, very complex books.
Personally, I think English language is a lot better than English literature. It's so much fun because you get to reconstruction, so like you get to write your own story or like your own diary entry. However, English literature, I find it's a bit harder because you literally have to learn a book back to front, and it's not a little book, it's like a 400-page book.
I love literature because you can just study books and like study books from different periods of time. Like language is good, but literature, like you learn the history, you learn like the meaning.
I think when it comes to GCSE, English literature is definitely better than language. It's literally just reading articles, and there's not as much of a creative element. In A level, I would definitely say English language is better because you get to look at things like gender and child language, and I think it's all really, really interesting.
I love English literature. I mean, language is okay, but literature I just prefer that I can prepare for what I'm going to be doing. And I don't like with language how most of it's on C. Like, what if it's just like one bad extract or one bad creative writing prompt? And yeah, I just prefer literature as well because I feel like I can really show my perceptive ideas better than I can in language, at least.